This story begins in a small Italian island where two men were fishing at night. One was half afraid of the legends that said of those waters, but the other told him no will worry. In short, they threw the net. When something began to stalk, something was being stolen his things, and one of the men saw him panic. This being fell into the fishing net, but he managed to escape. The next day we present Luca, a marine being who he was hunting the fish that were they escaped, taking them to their big heart. All marine beings were friendly and passive, but they took great care of the world outside. Then we see Luca that found a watch, a strange object of the surface, also found a letter, and so it was when suddenly the terrestrial monsters passed through the sea, scaring the little one, but at the same time bringing you a lot of curiosity about how it was over there. But for the being sailors, it was forbidden to go to the surface. In short, Luca returned to his house where he lived with his mother, his grandmother, and his father, some beings very ordinary marine except for the grandmother, since she knew a little about the surface. So the place asked where it came from. Vote. So she told him of the land of monsters and that she already, his mother, had seen them. With this angered and prohibited him from approaching the surface. And then we see that Luca returned in search of the objects of a tool, finding more strange objects like a glass tumbler and the most impressive, a record player. Unfortunately, a diver arrived, but in reality it was another marine boy. It turns out he was coming for the things that fell from the boat. Night, he was that creature. The case is that when it came out of the water, it became a terrestrial monster, taking out with him Luca, who was very scared. But in fact, it was not so bad, that being Monsterland. In short, it was impacted by such a place, the light, the wind, but he was scared and went back to water, was thinking all night for what had happened. So he decided get back up, and to distract your parents created a fish scare so they can return to the surface, and in the moment going out made him afraid again until the other marine being came encouraging him to going up. He saw how he was transformed into a child. Human liked to walk so much that the other boy taught him was difficult but not impossible. Little by little I know got used to the feat. Then the child presented, his name was Alberto. The case is that he taught his house in which lived with his father, taught him about gravity, the sun, and human objects of which he had a large collection. Fascinated and completely, he told him about the scooters, so he looked. I was dreamed of riding one, and so travel all over the world. So decided to design their own motorcycle, and when he arrived home at dusk his parents surprised him. He got very nervous when his mother questioned him, but thanks to his grandmother everything went well. The next day he returned with Alberto and the bike was already ready, so they went to test. Clearly did not resist and completely undid, throwing Alberto to the sea. But that did not matter, and was fascinated, loved by what they did. Another, although this other was destroyed a lot faster, which was very good until his parents gave. He tells that he was cheating on them and that had human objects. Meanwhile in the surface, Alberto and Luca kept building until creating the perfect toy. Or by another side, his parents started spying on him, but what as if nothing, loved seeing him human and above all be with Albert, or created a third motorcycle. And this time Alberto convinced Luca to walk in it like this, that threw themselves together, throwing themselves for the air to the water, was epic. Finally Lucia was delighted with the surface, with its moon, the stars, and everything that he surrounds, but had never been to the people human is or imagined Len or motorbikes, flowers, and a mega ramp that would take them to the moon. But all her dreams are gone down when he woke up, coming back very late to his house. So his parents interrogated him for having objects humans, and because it was going to the surface. Here they introduce us to their uncle Hugo, a being cave sailor with heart problems that you could see everything inside, disturbing the poor place. The case is that he came from the depths of the Mar, and the parents of the place called them for the rest of the season to the deepest ocean. And even if I didn't come to the surface, knowing this, Luca ran away with Alberto, who told him that the only place where they would not seek it, they were the human people, and that pylon was full of motorcycles. With this completely convinced the place to escape without father, no free rules. So in the morning they swam to the land of monsters. They swam and swam, transforming into every jump in humans, and with the help of a boat came out of the water without being seen. Luca was very scared, and more when he saw dead fish, but to see the people, their people, and the place was dreaming and do. But seeing so many images of humans killing marine beings, Luca almost fainted. Clearly his first impression was not the best, and was 2 steps away from leaving running until they saw a motorcycle, which Luca hit him with a ball, throwing it to the floor. The cretin of the owner approached him, mocked his clothes and his way of speaking. His name was Erciole Visconti, the Porto Ros Cup champion, and kept making fun of them and how they smelled fishy. So he grabbed Luca, and I wanted to throw it to the source. I was starting starting to transform when a girl saved him by taking him away from Ursiole. La girl was very kind to them. Her name it was Julia, and she explained to them that it was the Portorosso Cup race that all win the cup they won money, and with that can buy a motorcycle. This race was every summer. A triathlon, traditional Italian, handle bike and eat pasta. To the knowledge this they asked him to team up with them, but he didn't even know how to get on a bicycle. But little by little Luca achieved pedaling. Alberto is negab to a Nadia, saying that I did not know for what Julia doubt be with them. But Luca he begged me to help them since his parents they were going to send him to a very ugly place, but if he won the race he would be free, so they were left in what Luca was doing. Bicycle. Alberto ate and she swam, but before they needed money to sign up for what Julia took them with his dad Ma Ssimo, a very rough fisherman, and without an arm he knew all of the sea monsters, scaring them a lot. He finally fed them pasta, which he did not. They knew how to eat it, so they grabbed it with his hand. The father took off the wave just like the cat, so Julia told him who were from Genoa in the same school and who came to the race with this. The father told him he did not want participate. They also had to pay for coming and they weren't rich. But as Luca and Alberto knew about fish, they were going to help him to fish and thus get money. Later Julia took them to her hiding place in the tree where the two were going to sleep. They were delighted. On the other hand, Lucas's parents they went out to look for him, becoming Luca. Humans change and Alberto became marine being since by the night had rained but calm. The only one who saw them was the cat. Anyway, Juliana's dad took him fishing. The cat watched them all the time until he attacked them, but in the end he got down more as IMO to see that Alberto saw him a lot. Told him that he was born without an arm, but that was no problem, seeing that no, they fished a lot. What Alberto told him that they were fishing in a place where there were no fish, and when we returned to the village they arrived with a bunch of them for another dad's side. Luca to infiltrated the land of monsters is they were wrong as a child and they were more scared seeing so many since they did not recognize the his. On the other hand, the three children were to register for the race when the Ercole arrived, even though he was like 17 years old, still contesting that Desgraciad or the cretin stole his money and made him mad to Alberto. And when Luca told him that he looked like catfish, everyone made fun of him, so he gave the money back to Luca and he told him that in the race he would destroy him for making fun of him. The fact is that managed to enroll and began prepare Alberto to eat Luca to pedal and Julia for nothing, and when she was practicing Ursiole came trying to run them over by wetting them completely. Alberto who hid in the sea, and how Julia was bothering them. Alberto had time to dry off and get on the boat. On the other hand, the parents of Lucia continued looking for it and to find it easier doused everything the child s to find the true. But Luca saw them getting scared because they were in town human. In short, Alberto like he was jealous that Lucia was with Julia, since I know they got along very well. She told him that lived in Genoa with his mother and that in summers lived Portly with their father, where they saw her as the rare girl. With this Luca understood her. Later Julia took him across the rooftops to get to a balcony where there was a telescope, saw the stars and planets. She told him about the universe. With this Luca imagined 1,000 things about how I could travel the world, not only with a motorcycle, even flying. He taught him stories and all kinds of things, fully expanding its imagination. Was very dreamed of, so that Julia gave him his book Universe. Later Alberto with a slightly jealous humor, angry that Luca was learning when things suddenly and Ursiole came hitting Alberto, so Luca fearfully defended him and so they fled. The next day they continued practicing. The parents kept looking for Luca. Alberto was going to fish with Massimo. The parents kept looking for them and so it continued history. Even dad taught them to eat Luca's parents with cutlery. They were discouraged since I did not. They were nowhere to be found. When they finally recognized him I moved faster on the bike until fleeing from them. Later, out of jealousy of Alberto, began to fight with Julia, so he took the bike and drove Luca down the dangerous descent to reaching the sea. And leaving Luca confronted him that what was his problem, that he didn't know about this world, that wanted to know more. For what I wanted to go to human school and so learn, but Alberto got heavy starting a fight. When Julia arrived, Luca asked if he could go with her to the school, when he said that if the two super excited. But jealousy and bad Alberto's genius reached a limit already, who asked if they accepted monsters. Sailors jumped into the water and showed him his true self, espantandula to die and attracting Cole. Worst of all is that he looked the same he pretended, who saw a sea monster betraying Alberto, who went by sea. When Julia's father learned that Albert was, it was how he liked me. He wanted to go to look for him. Luca was freaking out for what Julia raised a glass of water, transforming his hands and understanding that he was also one of them. I don't know, scared because of his physique, but because of what it could happen since his father hunted monsters and it wasn't worth it to be. We'll stay here. Then Luca left. It was in looking for Alberto in his hiding place in the which everything was shattered, but I was there more than angry, disappointed, confessed to Lucia that his father left him completely alone, and that is why I had so many dreams of travel the world. So he raced day. Luca decided to do the triathlon just for Alberto, and so that they would not see him when swimming, he put on a diving suit with which he could move very well. On the other hand, Julia was going very fast anyway. Luca managed to get out dry, came to the food, and he hit the pasta hard, but Julia Lucas was still in the lead. He choked and he took his bicycle. He advanced, meeting his parents, but that didn't stop him or the climbs. He even surpassed Ursula. He went to all speed when it suddenly started rain, getting it wet a little, so it stopped to dry off, and suddenly Alberto arrived with an umbrella, but the wretch of Ursula pushed him, exhibiting him by fall, and caught it with a net, so that the hookah decided to save him no matter what. They saw it as it was to his bad luck. Ursula lost. I was chasing to catch them. All the world was watching them. Advanced on the bike, and with the help Julia, Ursula fell off the bike to just like her, so Alberto and Luca, they went to help her, but when Massimo saw them, like all the people did not, they did nothing to them since he knew them. No matter, they were monsters. Sailors won the race until the Urkel's friends put him in his place. Lucas's parents found him and they were so proud and mad at him. Everyone was happy, even others. Marine and covert beings are with this. They transformed the people accepted to marine beings. Luca and Albert, older beings, finally got their motorbike. Terrestrial and marine last coexisted in peace, eating and having fun like never before, and finally Alberto left his jealousy. Later we see that Julia was going back to Genoa when Alberto stopped Luca and gave him a ticket of train, which he got by selling the motorcycle, and with the support of his family they let go to school as it would live with Julia and her mother in Genoa. Everything excited, he said goodbye to his family. The bad thing about this is that Alberto was not going to go with him, since he was going to stay to live with Julia's father. I would keep him company and I would fish with him. With all the sadness of the world, the two friends said goodbye. Luca, he took the train, and little by little he left, moving away from Alberto, his marine life, his family, and the island, starting a new way to go. And so ends the